Tanya. Did you give me a stuffed animal by any chance?
I met you on the homecoming tour in February at Lancaster.
Okay.
And I suffer from really hard anxiety and depression.
Sure.
And I was recently got out of the mental hospital. I was wondering, how was it for you when you, because I know you were bullied when you were growing up, and I was wondering, how did you deal with it? Because I have panic attacks and everything else, and it's really hard for me.
Sure.
And I was wondering, how did you face that?
Well, thank you for sharing that with me. I know that's probably difficult to talk about, so thank you for telling me. Truth is that I've talked about it publicly before. I've struggled with anxiety my whole life. I've had kind of obsessive tendencies and very kind of drive myself crazy my whole life. And I think that that's probably true of a lot of artists. I have those moments where I get down on myself routinely, and I've tried my best in my life to channel that into the art that I make. When I was very young, I was diagnosed with everything under the sun, and I was sort of, you know, seen as a bit of a problem child by a lot of the teachers and stuff. And a lot of that was because I just didn't fit in well. I didn't, in terms of the curriculum at school, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. I didn't have great social skills, so they kind of saw me as, I guess, like I said, a problem kid. So when you start to hear constantly that you have all this stuff and that there's all this stuff wrong with you, it can sometimes be, not to say it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, but it can be harder to feel normal or functional when you have adults telling you all the time that you're this and you're this and you're this. I decided very early on that I didn't want to be told what I was, and I didn't necessarily, for me it didn't work to be medicated. I felt like I wasn't myself, and I decided that I was going to try to take those analytical elements of myself and the kind of obsessive tendencies and try to turn them into a way of being a better writer and a better artist. And so what that ultimately did for me was, in the early part of my life, I was probably a much bigger pain in the ass to be around than even I am now. Because I was so obsessed with the idea that everything had to be exactly how I needed it to go, because that was the only way I could kind of keep the demons at bay. If everything went exactly the way I needed it to, then all the upset and the stuff that attacked me in my mind all the time wouldn't be there. And so I thought, well, if I really focus my energies onto something that I love and something that I'm passionate about, I can find a way to make this work for me, and to make these, you know, quote-unquote demons be my friends in a way, in the sense that, you know, obviously I love Batman, right? Everybody knows I like Batman. The story of Batman, and the reason why I like that character so much, was something that I really associated with. The idea is that you have this guy who's deathly afraid of bats, and then when he becomes an adult, he basically turns into one. He takes on his fears and conquers his fears and becomes this kind of ultimate person by utilizing his own fears. So I've tried my whole life to take my fears and my anxieties and turn them into things that I can use for the better. No problem.